Sometimes, the biggest noise in your home doesn't come from others, but from the chaos inside you that keeps you from resting. Many people believe that to solve their problems they need to speak louder, but today I want to show you a different path. Stay here, because what you're about to discover will change the way you handle crises in your home. It's not about magic formulas, but about a truth that few apply. If you feel that words are no longer enough to bring order to your life, this message is exactly what you needed to hear right now. We're going to delve into something that will transform your environment from the ground up. There's a very special strength in the act of remaining silent when everything around us seems to be falling apart. Often, in the midst of our home routine, we get lost in explanations, in pointless arguments, or in the simple noise of daily worries. But there's a clarity that only appears when we decide to turn down the volume on the world. It is in that stillness that you reconnect with what truly matters and with the purpose God has for your family. It is essential to understand that your peace is non-negotiable. When you allow yourself to disconnect from external distractions and the negativity that sometimes seeps in through social media or other people's comments, you begin to hear that inner voice that guides you. It's not necessary for everyone to know your every move. Your personal journey, the progress toward your goals, and the well-being of your home are treasures that deserve to be protected. Have you noticed how most people constantly seek validation? They shout their achievements from the rooftops to feel accepted. But true growth, the kind that's solid and lasting, happens in private. Learning to walk with discretion is one of the greatest displays of wisdom you can have today. It's a fact that not everyone will celebrate your efforts. There will be those who, with or without ill intent, will try to hinder your progress with doubts or criticism. That's why silence becomes your best shield. By keeping a low profile regarding your plans and dreams, you take away the power of external obstacles to affect you. This is a moment for reflection. How much of your energy are you spending trying to get others to understand you instead of using it to build your own horizon? Within you lies a reservoir of power that activates when you stop seeking answers outside yourself. Your journey is unique, and protecting that path is your responsibility. By being mindful of what you share, you are safeguarding the very foundation of your personal and family success. Maintaining focus doesn't mean isolating yourself, but rather being selective about who you allow into your inner circle. That inner strength you feel isn't a coincidence. It's a sign that you're ready to move forward with renewed determination. Sometimes we think that to be strong we must show it to others, but true strength is cultivated when no one is watching. It's natural that when something good starts happening in your life or home, you feel an impulsive urge to share it. However, there's profound wisdom in working diligently and discreetly. Remember that not everyone has the capacity to process your well-being without projecting their own insecurities onto you. When you decide to announce each of your plans, you unwittingly open the door to unsolicited opinions and interference that only serve to sow doubt. Your purpose is something forged in the deepest part of your being. It is a seed that God placed within you and that needs protection to germinate. Protecting your steps is not an act of fear, but an act of respect for your own destiny. It is very likely that along this path, some people will try to question your worth. You will encounter distractions that will try to pull you away from your center, but your commitment must be to yourself and to the peace of your surroundings. Maintaining humility and silence does not make you weak. It makes you unattainable to those who only seek to sabotage what they do not understand. Many people spend their lives talking about what they're going to do, filling the air with promises they rarely keep. But you are different. You understand that true spiritual authority is demonstrated through actions, not noisy announcements. If you feel alone in this process, don't see that solitude as a punishment, but as a sacred space granted to you so that nothing will distract you. You don't need constant applause or validation from others. Sometimes, walking in that voluntary isolation is the only way to keep your eyes fixed on the goal. Have you noticed how many people today are desperate for a minute of superficial attention? They seek to be heard at all costs, but their words lack substance because they don't have a solid foundation of reflection. You, on the other hand, are building something with deep roots. Every move you make from now on must have a clear intention. Learn from your stumbles, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. Don't be discouraged by those who prefer media noise. Seek the clarity that can only be found when the outside world fades away and your faith ignites. In a world that feels like a constant showcase, where everyone is clamoring to be seen, the real question we should be asking ourselves is, what are we truly seeking when we try to attract attention? There is immense freedom in not feeling the need to turn your life into a spectacle for others. You have the power to be a profound and unique influence simply by fulfilling your duty, by doing that quiet work that sustains your family. Don't exhaust yourself trying to convince anyone of your worth. When you do things with integrity, the results speak for themselves. It is vital that you believe in yourself, even when you feel your efforts go unnoticed. Your finished work will be your best testament. Someday, those who don't perceive your efforts today will wonder how you manage to transform your surroundings or achieve the peace they so deeply desire. At that moment, you won't need to offer lengthy explanations. It will be enough to know that you were busy attending to what God placed in your hands. Your life and your progress are private matters between you and your Creator, and you don't have to allow outsiders to interrupt that sacred process. Embracing what makes you different is what allows you to move forward with confidence. Sometimes, silence acts as a protective shield, creating a safe haven for your most cherished plans. Let's be realistic. When others recognize your potential, they don't always react with joy. Sometimes envy or desire to hinder your progress arises. By not revealing your strategies prematurely, you protect your well-being from the negativity of others. Being different and independent can be challenging, but it is precisely this that defines your character and your faith. You have no obligation to follow the crowd. True leadership, especially within the home, isn't exercised through shouting, but through quiet, consistent example. When you share your plans before they're ready, you risk others waiting for your downfall or celebrating your failures. So, be careful with your words. Let your work speak for itself. Stay productive, stay focused, and don't give up. There will be a time to celebrate your accomplishments with joy, but while you're in the building stage, discretion is your most powerful ally. Keep going with that determination that comes from knowing you're doing the right thing, even if no one is applauding you yet. We live in an age where the world seems designed to keep us constantly on edge. Everywhere you look, there's a relentless barrage of information, unsolicited opinions, and distractions. From the screens we carry in our pockets to the environment around us, it seems everyone is in a desperate competition to be seen and heard. However, today I want to invite you to recognize a much deeper truth. Silence is not emptiness. It's one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your inner peace. When you choose silence, you're not simply keeping quiet. You're making the conscious decision to disconnect from external chaos in order to strengthen your inner self. Moving in silence is an act of courage because it means you no longer depend on others' approval to know you're on the right track. By doing so, you're building a wall of protection around your energy, your goals, and those dreams that only you and God know. There are eyes that look on with curiosity, but there are also influences that, without you even realizing it, can wear down your enthusiasm with a single negative word. It's a reality we must accept with maturity. Not everyone will understand your process. Not everyone will be happy when they see you thriving or your family finding peace. Some, seeing your determination and focus, will feel discomfort stemming from their own shortcomings, but their opinions don't have to become your reality. Your path is personal, and staying committed to yourself is what will make the difference between getting stuck and reaching that horizon you so deeply desire. Have you noticed how much space you gain to grow when you stop worrying about what others will say? By moving with discretion, you give yourself permission to make mistakes, to correct your course, and to learn without feeling the heavy gaze of others' judgment. Silence grants you the freedom to be yourself, without the pressure of having to meet the expectations of society that changes its mind every 5 minutes. Today, I encourage you to value that protective barrier that silence builds around your most cherished projects. That's where the true miracle of transformation happens. It's important to clarify something. Choosing this path doesn't mean you should shut yourself away in a bubble of absolute isolation. What it really means is that you're going to be extremely selective about what you say and, above all, with whom you decide to share your spiritual treasures. The path you're traveling with your family and your personal projects isn't a straight line. It's full of unexpected turns, exhausting climbs, and obstacles that will test your patience. There will be days when weariness whispers for you to give up, and moments when uncertainty seems to cloud everything. However, It is precisely in those moments of doubt that silence ceases to be merely the absence of noise and becomes your most faithful ally. Have you ever stopped to consider that when you stop complaining or seeking advice from people who haven't accomplished anything, your mind finally finds rest? In that stillness, you regain a clear vision of your purpose and allow that passion you felt at the beginning to reignite. By disconnecting from the external noise, you give your inner voice permission to guide you, reminding you that your journey is unique and that it's pointless to compare it to anyone else's. Moving with discretion cultivates a genuine and powerful humility within you. You begin to understand that your worth doesn't depend on how many likes you receive or how much applause you get from neighbors or acquaintances. It's about the profound satisfaction of ending the day knowing you did the right thing, even if no one saw you. There's a quiet, almost unshakable confidence that arises from this lifestyle. It's the certainty of knowing you are capable, that you possess the necessary dignity, and that, just as you are today, you are already enough to begin seeing change. That confidence is what allows you to hold your head high even when others doubt you or your abilities. You don't need to convince skeptics with words. Your inner security and daily consistency will, in due time, bear fruit that everyone will be able to see. Today I invite you to embrace that peace of not having to prove anything to anyone, focusing all that energy on strengthening the foundations of your own well-being. That inner security that arises when you stop seeking the approval of others is perhaps the greatest freedom you can experience. When you understand that your well-being and success of your home don't depend on anyone's permission, your outlook on life changes completely. By choosing discretion, you become much more strategic. Keeping your plans private allows you to work without the burden of external expectations, preventing uninformed opinions from interfering with your decisions. You know better than anyone what your family needs, and you don't have to adjust your steps to the pace others try to impose on you. In a society that clamors for attention, moving with calm and reserve immediately sets you apart. This attitude demonstrates that you are a person with a clear focus, someone whose determination isn't shaken by a negative comment or a doubtful glance. It proves that you are willing to give your all, even in those moments when no one is watching and there are no cameras recording your work. It is there in private that true authority is built. However, being discreet doesn't mean walking in complete solitude. It's essential that you learn to be the guardian of your own circle. Be extremely careful about who you let into your innermost circle. Seek to surround yourself with people who not only respect your goals, but also possess a human quality that inspires you to be better. These are the people who will offer you a sincere word of encouragement when the road gets tough, and who will celebrate your progress with genuine joy, free from envy. Always remember that transforming your reality isn't a sprint, but a marathon. Your journey requires patience, unwavering perseverance, and a steadfast commitment to your principles. There will be days when you look around and feel like nothing is moving, that progress is invisible to the naked eye. It's normal to experience moments of frustration or question whether all the effort is worthwhile. But it's precisely in those periods of apparent stillness that your roots are growing stronger to sustain the fruits that will come. In those moments when exhaustion seems to win, it's vital to pause and remember the value of your own peace. Silence isn't an empty pause. It's a sacred space you have to regroup, regain focus, and recharge your spiritual energy. Have you ever felt you needed a break from the world to reconnect with yourself? That's precisely when discretion becomes your medicine. It allows you to reflect on the path you've traveled and make the necessary adjustments to stay on course. It's crucial to remind yourself that your journey is unique. There's no point in measuring your progress by someone else's standards. At the end of the day, your success won't be measured by the buzz you generated or how many people heard about your plans. What will truly define your victory is the consistency of your work, the depth of your progress, and the integrity with which you achieved your goals. True greatness lies in that ability to stay focused and persevere, even when adversity seems to be blowing against you. I invite you to make the decision today to calm the chaos that surrounds you. Embrace tranquility and consciously disconnect from distractions and all the negativity that tries to steal your peace. Your journey belongs only to you and God. There is no obligation for the whole world to know every step you take or every decision you make in the privacy of your home. Often, moving forward quietly is the safest path to real transformation. While others expend their energy seeking attention and immediate validation, You are cultivating genuine growth that springs from within. Tranquility is not weakness. It is the state of those who know exactly where they are going. Resolve today to keep moving forward with the elegance that comes from discretion. There will be a time to share the joy of the results. But while you are building, stay focused, be productive, and above all, never allow yourself to give up. You are much closer than you think. Walking with prudence is, without a doubt, the wisest strategy to protect the well-being of those you love. While the world is obsessed with creating noise and begging for validation that vanishes in seconds, you have chosen the path of substance. True success in your personal and family life isn't announced with fanfare. It's felt in the peace you breathe when you close your front door. The growth that truly endures is that which is nurtured from within, maintaining that tranquility that allows you to see clearly what others ignore because they're distracted by the clamor. Today, I encourage you to make the firm decision to move forward under this new cloak of discretion. Don't feel you're wasting time by not showing your hand. On the contrary, you're gaining power. Silence is the workshop where great realities are forged. Continue to be productive. Continue sowing with faith, and don't let discouragement stop you. Perseverance in secret always reaps its reward in the public eye, in ways you could never have imagined. The time will come when your goals are a solid reality and your efforts are evident, when you can freely share your joy. Until that day arrives, conserve your energy, protect your dreams, and keep your gaze fixed on the purpose that drives you. Trust that every step you silently take is building a future full of hope and stability for you and your loved ones. Don't give up, because the peace you are cultivating today is the foundation of the victory you will see tomorrow. Now, share your light. If this message has brought a little peace to your heart today, I invite you to write "Amen" or "Peace in my home" in the comments. By doing so, we create a chain of hope that can sustain others. Share this hope. Don't keep these words to yourself. If you know someone going through a storm of noise and confusion, share this video with them. It could be the respite they've been longing for. Walk with us. To continue cultivating your inner strength and receive these life reflections, subscribe to our channel. Here you'll always find a haven of serenity and words that uplift your path.